Guys, there's not a single grown man on this planet that should be attracted or even find a young one even remotely appealing, right? So I find, whenever we do come across situations where people do like looking at the young ones, right? I always find it absolutely atrocious. It's like, bro, you're a grown man. You're supposed to protect these people. What are you doing here, bro? But all right, let's go ahead and jump to this video immediately, guys. You read the title. I can't actually read the title on a video because it is absolutely flagrant, and YouTube does not like any of these words. Meaning, some people ask me, well, why don't you read some of these things? It's not that I can't, right? What it is that YouTube will just make it so you can't really see the video like that, right? They won't share the video to people. So that's kind of the reason there, guys. But either way, let's go and jump into this immediately. This is a suggestion via Discord.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox. The time 1:13 on the East Coast and 10:13 on the West Coast. Do want to get back into that breaking news that we have been following here out of New York, as the NYPD Chief of Patrol did announce a short time ago that they do have a person of interest now in custody in connection to the assault of a 13-year-old girl last week in Queens. Now, as we know, a short time ago, we did get a very brief feed coming in of a news conference where police, the NYPD, did break down the latest information here.
This is him
we now
right
have
here?
that full news conference, so I do want to pop up the audio and we can listen in.
Guys, I have a 12-year-old daughter.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Last night, thanks to our tireless effort Detective Bureau, and especially the Queens Special Victims Squad, a violent criminal has been taken off our streets. The rape of a 13-year-old girl last Thursday in Casino Park, Queens, shocked our entire city. The horrific crime was committed in broad daylight, and our investigators immediately went about finding and apprehending the person responsible.
Broad daylight?
For 4 straight days, they worked around the clock. They canvassed neighborhoods, collected evidence, knocked on doors, circulated photos and video, and they never let up in their efforts to close this case. Our department reached out to the media and to the public, and our city was united in getting justice for the victim and her family. No tip went uninvestigated. Every call to 911, 311, and Crime Stoppers was critical. And just after 1 in the morning, after several days of engaging the public for their help, a call came in that a suspect was seen in the confines of the 110 precinct. Officers responded to the location, removed the individual from the station house, and after further investigation, we are confident that this person who committed this terrible crime is now in custody. Today, the next phase of the Criminal Justice Bureau begins. We will continue working closely with the Queens DA to hold this person accountable. But now, I want to thank all of our investigators who relentlessly pursued justice in this case. You are a true credit to this department, and you continue to make all of us proud with your unwavering dedication to the people we serve. I want to thank the media for spreading the word and keeping people informed about this case and about every major case we investigate. And I especially want to thank New Yorkers. There is no greater force multiplied than the eyes and ears of the engaged, fully involved public.
Absolutely.
This is exactly what we mean when we talk about public safety is a shared responsibility. And the past few days proved to the world again that the people of the city can come together and get the job done like no one else.
Guys, here's the thing. I just want to stop for a second here. I love the fact that he's giving the people of New York the credit for actually doing something, because in all actuality, the people will actually do it. NYPD, I don't know if that's the thing, guys, right? Because the problem is that, well, how about this? Let's not blame them specifically. Let's blame the judges, right? The ones that are basically giving people like $1 bails, right? Allowing them just to get out from doing some of the craziest things in Manhattan. I do hope that you're actually able to hold this person. You're not going to allow this person back out by any means. And if they are a migrant, like based off the title here, they should probably, be sent back to their nation, guys.
Chief Detectives Joe Kenny will now get some further details. Chief?
Because bro, you can't just come here under the guise of asylum, specifically wreck that city's economy, guys, and then also bring criminality. And that type of heinous criminality at that.
Thank you, Commissioner. So based on good detective work, coordination with multiple bureaus and community assistance, we have a perpetrator in custody for this crime. His name is Christian Giovanni Inga Landi. He is a male Hispanic, 25 years old, with a date of birth of 1/14/99. His last known address was in Queens. He is of Ecuadorian descent. He has no prior arrest history in New York City. However, he does have one arrest out of state in Texas. Since his time in New York City, he's been involved with the police department only 3 times, involving 3 summonses and 1 domestic violence incident in the 107 precinct that did not require an arrest. The steps taken to identify this perpetrator were the forensic interviews that were done of both victims. These victims gave crucial information that was needed to assist to make this arrest. Evidence collection and process. We still have forensics that are currently being analyzed and processed at the lab. The sketch artist gave us that image to work off of, and I'll tell you right now, that sketch was dead on. The video canvas that led to a person of interest. This was video that was provided by the community. All right, the picture and video were blasted out yesterday through DCPI to all media outlets and all of our social media platforms. We got numerous tips from Queens residents. The tips came in via social media. They gave us the perpetrator's name, his Facebook account, which gave us pictures of him wearing the clothing he was wearing the same day that he committed the crime, as well as pictures of him with that distinguishable tattoo on his chest and matching clothing. So as the commissioner said last night at 1:07 in the morning, we had 911 calls from the community, once again directing the police to 108 Street and Walden Street for a perpetrator that fitted the description from past crime. Here we found that the community was holding our perp. At the time, the community was trying to hold the perpetrator, waiting for the police. He fought with them, and the community still managed to hold on to him until we got there. The perpetrator...
Oh, it's this story. They did a little bit more than hold on to him. Correctly so. Well, let's continue.
He was treated and released for minor injuries at Elmhurst Hospital. He was taken back to the 112 precinct, where he's being processed by the Special Victims Unit. The perpetrator has made statements after waiving Miranda rights, where he indicated that he has a drug problem, that he found the knife that he used to threaten the two teens, that this was the first time he had ever done anything like this. He IDs himself in video that was shown to him. Currently, we are working with Melinda Katz in the Queens District Attorney's Office, but the charges are going to be as follows. For our female victim, abuse, robbery in the first degree, menacing, unlawful imprisonment, kidnapping, endangering the welfare of and possession of a weapon. For the male victim, robbery in the first degree, menacing, criminal possession of a weapon, unlawful imprisonment, kidnapping, endangering the welfare of... I'd like to thank Chris Lapolis and all of Special Victims for their efforts in bringing this case to a successful conclusion. Thank you.
Bro, this is life in prison. I definitely hope that's where we're going with this one here, bro. Please don't mess with the young ones, bro. Do not.
On topic questions, Dean Moses, New York. Chief, could you guys give a little more detail about the actual apprehension of the community residents? What did they do? Who are they? Were they a resident of the shelter?
They're local residents from right on that block there. Like I said, we, through social media, through the help with you guys, that picture was out there. That sketch was plastered everywhere. Everybody knew who we were looking for. Like I said, we had tips coming in actually naming the perpetrator. So they knew who he was.
Great.
When they saw him out on the street, they tried to detain him. They called 911. He began to fight back as the community was trying to retain him.
Right.
And he suffered some minor injuries while the community was holding him.
Again, guys, they were doing a lot more than holding him. All right, which I absolutely appreciate. I am not sure that listen, I'm glad that he got caught. Let's just say that here. But minor injuries, that's enough. Oh, no.
We don't have confirmation of that. We're hearing that possibly he may have used a belt to try and hold his feet together to keep him from running away.
Chief, can you tell us a little bit more about where this man's been living and what sort of living arrangements he has?
He's been bouncing around a little bit. We know that he entered the country from Ecuador through Texas, through Eagle Pass, Texas, back in June 25th of 2021. One of the tips we actually received was from a landlord who stated that the male had come to his building about 2 weeks previous trying to rent a room.
Tony DeStefano, Blue Day.
Chief, how many people, if you know the number, were involved in his apprehension for this
We're still pulling video to ascertain that. When patrol, just from based from body worn camera, I saw there was at least 10 neighborhood people trying to do the right thing.
Rocco, Daily News. Chief, when he came to this country, what happened at the border? Was he with a family member? And as far as DNA, is anything been linked yet to the DNA?
So the DNA is still being processed. When he did come into the country, the federal government did take fingerprints and DNA from him at the border. So that's still being worked on. We actually still processing our evidence. We're going to try and match that up. As far as when he crossed into the border, he was with a 3-year-old.
Is that his son?
Don't know.
Yeah, get that away from him immediately.
Jessica, CBS.
Sir, can you confirm multiple reports that we've heard that the suspect used his own bandanas to stuff inside the victim's mouths to prevent them from screaming for help inside the park?
There was one red bandana that was recovered from the scene, and that's being processed at the lab still.
Rebecca Greenberg, New York One.
Will any of the people who helped apprehend this suspect receive an award, a $2,000 award?
As of right now, they can come forward for that. We're still working on identifying them. They said it was a chaotic scene there last night,
right?
So we're still working through that.
Yeah, I can tell you this right now: the majority of them are not going to come forward because of literally what they did. He's kind of downplaying what actually happened, but if minor injuries was all that he actually got, then that's surprising to me based off of what happened. Right? Exactly. But all right, I highly doubt that these individuals are gonna come forward because again, some of them took a little further than they should have. Let's say specifically if they're gonna go talk to the police now. It's a lot of them are probably gonna think they're gonna get charged with something. So they're heroes.
Just one more question. In terms of
Hi, Christine from CBS. Is there anything you can confirm? People, there are reports saying that he is a migrant. Is that the right terminology to use to describe it? And also, is there anything you can say about the victims and if there's any other condition?
So his arrival through the country is consistent through a path a migrant would take. He comes through Eagle Pass, Texas, where he's detained and placed under arrest for entering the country illegally. He's then detained, and while he's waiting for processing, he's let go. He does indicate to us that he knew his time in this country was coming to an end and that he was going to have to leave soon after. But he did come through to the United States from Ecuador through Texas, which is consistent with the way a migrant might travel.
Anything you could say about the victims of the kids if there's any?
Not at this time.
All right, we got time for one or two more. Ricardo Villegas, Telemundo.
So is it fair to say that the 3-year-old is no longer with him? Do you know what the whereabouts?
We believe that he currently has 2 at this time, one of them being 6 years old, so that the time frame would go that he arrived here 3 years ago with a 3-year-old. He does have a 6-year-old.
All right, final question. Tony DeStefano.
Chief, when he crossed the border, he was just an illegal border crosser at this stage. He wasn't an asylum seeker.
Based on the charges that he received in Texas, that is what we see quite common. That is a charge given when you enter the country illegally. They are processed, they are fingerprinted, they are photographed, their DNA is taken, and then while they're waiting for their court hearing, they are released. So that's consistent once again with the migrant crossing.
All right. Thank you everyone for your time and attention.
Yeah, guys, I think we just seriously need like the ability to do a better background, like check into some of the people that are coming here, guys. That's just a reality. We cannot just allow this border to be just as open as it has been for people to come in. You know, some of them are coming with nefarious purposes, guys. They may have a past they're running from in their country, and then even some of these countries don't even keep good enough record, let's say, on some of these individuals. So when they come here, their countries do not actually know what they go through, what they've actually been doing, let's say, in their country. Like imagine if you were in, let's say, Peru, and you were way up in the mountains, right, where a lot of things are a little bit more like village based and tribal based, and no one is going to call the police. They're just going to handle whatever you're doing locally. Right, I don't really think that we have that type of society here where you can actually just get away with something this heinous, specifically if you're kind of used to doing things like that. Let's say, right? Like the local villagers would handle you literally, like in the village. They're not calling the police for that. right? They're just not. They're just going to handle you different. They're going to handle you terribly, let's say, right? Hopefully you make it, but the government is going to have no record of that. You get what I'm saying here? And I think that's probably my biggest gripe here. Like, we do not seriously know who is coming through the border, because we just apparently allowed this person to come into the United States of America, and then do all types of this, right? With a weapon, basically. This is absolutely crazy, bro. But guys, let me know in the comments, how do you think we can fix this, right? I keep saying the same thing, I think, right? Because I am at a loss for words here, right? I do not know a solution. I can't think of a viable solution other than everyone has to get stopped. There is no such thing as we will release you into the country. That needs to stop immediately. We'll release you back at the border, and then when it's your time or whatever to immigrate, then we'll give you a call or send you an email, right? I mean, that should be the way things are going forward, right? I mean, we need to have a full-blown background check on some of these individuals. Example, when I immigrated into Europe, specifically to Spain, I had to bring all types of local documents, from the city or town hall, from the county that I lived in the United States of America, along with the one that I was born in. Right? So I had to bring all of this documentation before they would be like, you know what? Okay, I'll give you residency, that type of thing. Okay? And keep this in mind, I was already married at this time to a woman in Spain. My son was already born in Spain. Okay? And they were still like, nah, more documentation. I think we need to be like that, I'd say. Okay? If you do not have a local police report that we can use to kind of get some information about who exactly you are, you can't come in, bro. The rules going forward. Okay? But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.